This is the Little Moments Count radio podcast, created in partnership with community radio stations throughout Minnesota. Each episode, you'll hear interviews with early childhood experts on how to support the important brain development that takes place in the first 1,000 days of life, just through little moments every day. Learn more at littlemomentscount.org/podcast.
FM 89.9 KMOJ, looking at 32 minutes after the hour. 3 o'clock within the Twin Cities. Walter Q. Bear Banks Jr. got you on the afternoon drive and letting you know, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to lock in with Little Moments Count. Now, Little Moments Count, now check this out. Little Moments Count is a statewide collaborative focusing on helping parents and caregivers learn about the importance of brain development and in the youngsters' first 3 years of their life. Now, even beyond that, 80% of the brain growth happens within the first 1,000 days of a small person's interaction. And we're talking playing, reading, singing, anything on that physical side that causes the touch and movement and sound. So letting you know right now, if you like to lock in and get more information, you can also lock in at littlemomentscount.org. So on the phone line, I got Jaton White, who represents Northside Achievement Zone. And I'd like to say good early afternoon, and how you doing?
Good early afternoon to you, Q Bear, and I am doing well on this sort of fall-like day in Minnesota.
Okay. For the listening audience, you are the Director of Community Wellness at Northside Achievement Zone. What exactly is that, or what falls under that umbrella?
Sure. Our focus in that, it sounds bigger than it is. Our focus is to make sure that the adults that we're asking to do this really precious work with our most valued people, which are our scholars, that they have the capacity and that they have the emotional stamina needed to be able to have this, to be able to support our scholars in the ways that they then can have accelerated growth and good outcomes.
Okay, well, what drew you to wanting to deal and work in on the North Side and dealing with North Side families and their students in North Minneapolis?
Yeah, in short, I am the North Side. I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska, and a lot of the same challenges and setbacks that I've experienced growing up there, kids and families were experiencing when I started to live here in Minneapolis, and are still to this day still experiencing those, as well as Omaha. And so for me, the give back is to be able to give back in ways to Minneapolis that it gave to me. Minneapolis helped me build my own emotional stamina helped me build my own career path. And so it is part of my responsibility to be sure that I'm here to do that same thing.
Okay, so now how do we, as caregivers, as parents, as workers, when it comes to that side of it, how do we help young children in the community build emotional and social skills?
Yeah, both are important, and I'm glad you broke them out. They're a little bit different, right? We talk a lot about social capital here at NAS and how that helps produce long-term networks that your scholars can tap into as they enter adulthood and go into career. But it is important that we help them build the social, emotional skills to be able to sustain that long-term wealth that they're building for themselves in that social capital area. And by doing that are small things. I saw a post recently that said you cannot ask your child to regulate their emotions when you can't regulate your own. And so one of the things I would say to parents is be busy learning about ourselves and what triggers us, and how those things show up when we're parenting with our kids. That's a good way, free way, to help kids build their emotional skills that will then help them sustain that social capital they'll gain later. But it's highly important that we model what that looks like and being honest. I was in a conversation with a colleague recently, and she talked about how she went back and apologized to her child because she was having a rough day, and that rough day kind of got in her way of parenting. So going back and acknowledging that hurt or harm helps also build those emotional skills.
Okay, so now when you're in the midst of the works that you do, how do you help, or how do you extend the support when it comes to parents and their families and the child's well-being within itself?
Yeah. We have an amazing parent curriculum underneath our Family Academy umbrella here. So that's one way we tap into and support parents. We don't really tell parents what to do. Parents have everything they need. You know, they're parents for a reason. They were chosen. But we just give them some more supportive tools, some data sometimes around new ways of thinking and doing. But we support them in what they decide they need to work on. We don't could or should our parents. We just simply support them with the resources that are available to help them be healthier parents so they have the capacity to support their students.
So now when it comes to the youngsters themselves, to the kids themselves, and we're talking about those challenges, what are some of the key challenges that you work on or that you exist in that shows that support and that lineup of supporting the youngsters in order to get better with growing and development?
Yeah, one of the key things that I nobody's going to be surprised that I said this is our kids do not have enough safe, healthy adults that they can tap into on a regular basis to help regulate their own nervous system. So again, I say to the adults that are listening, it doesn't matter what age you are as an adult. It doesn't matter what race you are as an adult. It doesn't matter what you do as a profession. Are you healthy enough and up on site? Are you neuroceptively safe enough for a child to be able to tap into you for resource?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, letting you know that I'm talking to Jaton White and representing Northside Achievement Zone and giving you that info when it comes to that little moments count. And if by chance I missed a question or two, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, it's getting ready to be winter months. It's a great time to spend some time with your kids doing puzzles or games. Great way, again, to build some emotional intelligence skills and some connectedness around with your scholar.
Okay, well, I want to say thank you very much for taking the time out and enlightening the listening audience with your presence and your time and your voice as well.
Right on. Thank you, brother. You have a good rest of your day.
No doubt. That's the small print in the contract.
Right on, brother. Right on.
No doubt. Looking at 40 minutes after the hour, 3 o'clock within the Twin Cities. It's FM 89.9 KMOJ and letting you know that if you like a recording of the show within itself or more information about it within itself, when it comes to Little Moments Count, it's littlemomentscount.org/podcast. Or you can just lock in at Little Moments Count on the website at littlemomentscount.org. It's FM 89.9 KMOJ, no doubt about it, is the people's station.
Thanks for listening to the Little Moments Count radio podcast in partnership with community radio stations throughout Minnesota. You can find the Little Moments Count radio podcast wherever you get your podcasts and at littlemomentscount.org/podcast.